I shouldn't have raced. Is kind of where I'm at. Just running on absolute fumes, and my body was an absolute mess.
We walk away. We don't give up on our dreams.
And I felt very prepared going into it until like I got out there in the race, and I was like, "Fuck! I haven't raced a track race in like 18 months or something."
I got the win. I almost choked on the finishing tape. It literally just went around my neck and it wouldn't come off when I crossed the line.
We should give a shout out to, Josh Kerr did perform amazingly in the race.
Coffee Club, TC, and our team there with Amazfit. Congratulations, Josh.
Yeah, he did.
Find out more on the Coffee Club podcast.
Coffee Club, Coffee Club. Grind your beans and grab your favorite mug. It's Ollie, Morgan, George, and Gus. It's them boys from Coffee Club. Boys from Coffee Club.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coffee Club podcast. Today, the three of us are all down under, which is a very special occasion. It's something that I don't think has ever occurred in the entire history of this friggin' podcast.
Is that true?
Which
I don't think we've all been down in Oceania time zone all at once. One or two of us have been, and then
wow,
usually been in Boulder or Europe.
Round of applause.
So, yeah.
It's huge.
It's massive.
So happy, first off, to have everyone here together on this hemisphere. And yeah, today we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. The three of us have raced since the last pod to varying degrees of success. And there's been some other fun news that has gone on. So we have a lot to talk about today, which I'm very excited to have a little catch up with the boys after taking last week off. But before we get into it, we do have a couple little shout outs. First off, this is from our manager, Wom Tang. Big shout out to Owen Mittenthal. I don't think that's how you say the last name. But he pays Tom to a half marathon PR, PB, depending where you come from. And it's a very funny story. So Tom was doing, I think it was called Project 13.1 over in New York, I believe. And this pacer, Owen, was supposed to go 10 miles. And I think Tom, I don't know if Tom offered this or he offered this, but he ended up pacing him the whole way with a promise of a shout out on the podcast. So this is the shout out to Owen. Thank you so much for doing such a great job pacing Tom to his half marathon PR, and congrats, Tom, on that. We know you've worked very hard for that. And Owen also just PR'd in the McCurdy micro marathon, so he's crushing it. And yeah, keep up the good work.
Boys off.
A 13.1 mile pacing job.
And
that's quite effective.
It's worth, yeah. I mean, if I would definitely pay someone a podcast shout out. That seems really.
If anyone else would like to do that for us,
so
let us know. You can absolutely have a shout out on the podcast.
I'll take a much shorter pacing job even. You can pace one rep of my workout of any workout, and I'll give you a shout out. That's how valuable and how thankful we would be for that. But also, we have to give a big shout out to Amazfit sponsoring this episode. And today we're going to start off a new segment called Training Time by Amazfit. And before we get into it, don't forget to use code COFFEE, all caps, at checkout for 15% off. And this week we're going to answer a couple of fan questions from the Discord on training. Lord Enzo, shout out. You love the Discord names.
Yeah.
How is 10K pace supposed to feel compared to 5K and half marathon pace?
Oof.
Does anyone want to take a stab at that?
That's a good one, actually. Is this specifically in a workout? Like 10K pace workouts?
Yeah, 10K pace supposed to feel compared to 5K half marathon. I mean, I guess for us, like, half marathon pace is supposed to be like, is it supposed to? No, what's threshold pace supposed to be?
Shit, we're experts.
I'm trying to figure that out.
You're opening a real can.
I'm thinking about when we do
been
10K pace. The only example I can think is often like, and one that a lot of people do would be like 25 400s is often off short rest, off 30 seconds rest, is essentially 10K pace. Like if you're running, we run a lot of like 66s. But, I mean, not that I'm running 27:30, which I think 66s is, but in theory, that might be 10K pace. Yeah. And for 400 meters, not that hard. But that's,
I think, a really good way of explaining it, because the question is like how it's supposed to feel. And it's like, if you're talking about a 400 rep, I think 10K pace is in the perfect zone where like it feels like you're running, like you're definitely not jogging, but it's very different from 5K pace. Because if you're doing 5K pace for 400s, like that's like you're working pretty hard. 10K, a lot more manageable. And then if you're doing 400 reps at half marathon pace, that's like proper threshold.
Yeah. 30 seconds rest with 10K pace 400s, very doable. 30 seconds rest 5K 400s, maybe not even a workout. Or if it is, I mean, maybe you could, but you wouldn't. Probably not 25. So 5K pace is hard. 10K pace, you can do way more volume. Doesn't require as much rest. 5K pace, pretty hard, requires more rest. Maybe that's like the simplest way, right?
Yeah, because I like 10K pace, because if you're doing threshold pace or half marathon pace, you almost have to like actively be pretty controlled. Whereas the 10K pace feels like you don't have to really think. It's like you're just running solid, and that's I think once you dial that in, like it feels pretty good. But yeah, so thank you for the first question. Big Cheese asks, how is Morgan doing with double threshold? So I haven't done double threshold in a few weeks actually, but I do like it a lot.
Give us a double threshold session from Morgie.
My double threshold days are the same as everybody else's double threshold days.
VO2 max?
I don't test and I go really hard all the time. No, I do longer reps in the morning and normally between 6 to 8 minutes. It depends. Maybe my main difference is like I don't run the treadmill as much as some other people that do double threshold. So I normally do just different loops that are like 7 minutes or so and keep it pretty controlled. Keep the lactate between 2 or 3 and using the heart rate. I like when I'm in rep, in the mornings, I often will use my heart rate on the Amazfit a lot to dial it in, and because I can generally tell like what zone it has to be, because lactate is great, but I don't really test until after rep 3, and normally I'm doing like 4 reps. So it's nice to have something to guide you up to that point. And then in the evening, I'll do your standard like 400s and Ks and stuff. And yeah, I'll go a little bit harder, but also then you have the morning and the legs as well. So, but you feel pretty good. Like once you do it for a few weeks, it feels pretty good, and I like it. I think it's taken a while for my body to adapt to it, and I don't think my body has fully adapted to it yet. I think I still have a lot of progress to be made in it, but I'm definitely like always have been getting better and better at it. And I mean, I love it just to build the aerobic side of things. I think if you're like us and you're a pro runner and you have the time availability, I think it's like a really good thing to do. I don't think it's like best for everyone, but yeah, it's good. And like definitely using like the Zep apps biocharge stuff, like you can see that now I like recover pretty well from the double threshold days, which initially I had a lot of fatigue in my body, but now I feel like I can bounce back from them pretty well, which is really nice. So yeah. Next week, we'll take training questions in the YouTube comments for our training time presented by Amazfit segment. So please leave them below. And don't forget to use our code COFFEE at checkout for 15% off at amazfit.com. That's coffee all caps. We've been loving the Amazfit Balance 2 watch, so go check it out. And
it's a favorite between the three of us.
And yeah, maybe even later in the episode, we'll be talking about our teammate Josh Kerr, because he made some big race announcement in the last few days. So very excited to get into that. But yeah, the three of us have raced in the last week or two, which has been very fun. I don't know what the best way to go about this is. George, I guess.
So I have to get mine out of the way.
So, well, you don't have to. I mean, I don't think we need to dwell on it, on all the racing stuff too much.
I'll do a trip recap in some way.
Everyone's race.
Quick round table.
Quick round table recap.
Seems I've gone 3/4 of the way around the world in the last week or so, and I'll finish that lap next week. And because I went
Around the world in
I went
14
Poland,
days.
and then I went back through Asia, through Singapore to New Zealand, and then back to the US next week. So just a full circumnavigation of the globe.
So you're
just checking it out.
Your pitbull.
Yeah, reasonably late call up to World Indoors in Turun. Dude, great coffee town. Unreal, actually. Well,
really,
there was tiny, so there were only 2 coffee shops, but they were serious about their coffee. I would have bought beans,
I love to do that,
but I was coming here, so I didn't. That was my rationale, and I had too much shit already. If I was going back to the US, I definitely would have. They were legit. This place called Project Nano, just full of athletes every morning. Well, mostly Aussies and New Zealanders, but a couple of others. So great coffee experience there, and that's probably where the good parts of that trip ended. That's where the highlights. Yeah, that was it. Only, and then I came back. Nothing else happened, actually. Just my flight path went. I had a few day layover in Poland on the way back for some reason. Fuck. Hindsight is hindsight. What did they say? I don't know. Hindsight's a bitch sometimes. I shouldn't have raced. Is kind of where I'm at. I was trying to be so optimistic in like the weeks leading up. Well, didn't even know I was going until the week before, and it's almost just like ignoring the signs telling me to give up on what was kind of part of an early plan. Like in the fall, all right, didn't run indoors after the Olympics, obviously, and had loved indoors the year before, so let's take a good crack at indoors. And December, January had gone so well that that it was like I was in a good spot, and it felt like I was training to compete for a world title again. That was where my head was at in January, and still was even at Milrose, and being through that, was pissed off after that because it felt like I should have competed at the front of that race, and I think actually had the legs and the capability that day to compete with the 2 guys that went 1-2 there and then ended up going 1-2 at World Indoors. What ended up happening is I got fucking sick again and just was never the same. Just felt, still, I just took like 8 days off after World Indoors because I was so fucked by the time I got there. Just running on absolute fumes, and my body was an absolute mess. But it was just it's so hard to give up on that like January idea in my head where things were good enough to like think that I could compete for a world title again, and then to go from that, like I shouldn't have even run JDL, obviously, and I should have just thrown. Well, I don't know when I should have called it a day and said, "Look, indoors is off the table." I should have done it, but I was too stubborn / optimistic, whatever it was, to give up on it, basically. So instead, I went, and that's what it looked like. And because on the day,
hey, but based on historical data, now you're gonna have like the best outdoor season ever. So it's actually a good thing.
Yeah, actually, from historical circumstances. What I've learned from this, George, is that you don't give up on your dreams.
Yeah,
and that's what
exactly.
Coffee Club, we don't give up on our dreams.
That's a good
Good or bad, we walk away. We don't give up on our dreams, and it's honestly a good reflective moment on the round table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we're always proud of you, George, and obviously it's super tough. But I hope that has it been good being at home? Have you felt you've got some rejuvenation in the beautiful?
Hopefully mentally. I don't know if my body. I've been back jogging for a couple of days, and hopefully things are better. It's a little bit hard to tell at the moment.
Surely eating the food down there, eating the lamb.
I was going to say the food-wise, you must be
smelling
cleansing your body.
Smelling the dirt.
A lot of lamb has been consumed. Had a lovely wedding of my sisters on Friday, and followed by a pool party next day. Just an epic weekend actually. Beautiful weather, so lots of time in the sun. Been to the beach a couple of times, and going to the beach for Easter this weekend before coming back, and hopefully turn a bit of a corner. I was a bit of this. I coined a new term of just being what I felt like was like 3/4 injured the month leading up to racing, where it was just like the quarter of me could still do the training, and 3/4 of me was too injured to do it properly. Well, I think that's like me and you. That's a good term.
I like it. I'm gonna use that.
And so I'm trying to fix that 3/4 currently. Yeah, exactly.
Got to get above 50% health.
So on a big reset at the moment, which is hopefully gonna do the trick. And that involves some nice family time at home. And what else have I been doing? Oh no, bit of farming yesterday. Out
love that.
Sorted some ram, put some lambs on the truck to go to Whole Foods. Actually, someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it.
It has to be done.
We'll be at Whole Foods next week and be like, oh, that was.
That's what I said. It's a circular. It's a circular economy because I put them on the truck and then I'll go to the US next week and I'll buy them. And if I can get back, holy shit, it was hard to get a flight back. New Zealand, apparently we're going to run out of fuel. Like, actually, we're going to, and like,
really?
Same as Australia.
Like, we're totally fucked here. And
that's what happens when your country relies on
other countries.
Fuel is unbelievably expensive, and because no one's flying through the Middle East, obviously. Everyone's flying either through Asia or through the US. So there are just no normal flights to the US. I have a 12-hour layover in Honolulu next week, which I'm actually excited about because I rented a car and I'm going to go to the North Shore for a few hours. It was the only, and that was like the only flight on weeks on either side that I could get back to Denver. It was insane. Like, I was almost trapped down here. Who knows? Maybe I will. Maybe they'll cancel it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Come to Australia.
That's it from me, though.
We got to spot you. Well, man, it's good that I feel like if you're at a bit of a low point, being at home is like the best place to be, to just be able to switch off and get away. And that's just how it goes sometimes, got to have the lows with the highs. So we know that you'll be back ready to go. I really think like, after a bit of a down indoors is when amazing things can happen outdoors. And so we have confidence, but we should give a shout out to, Josh Kerr did perform amazingly in the race.
Coffee Club TC and our team with a maze fit. Congratulations, Josh.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, even though lots of people hating on him in the Discord, at least for his celebration and just for his overall persona, I think. But it's undeniable how good he is, and you got to give him credit for that. And off the back of that, he's announced Project 222, which is simultaneously...
Does that mean coming second?
Really dumb or really smart? I can't work it out. Yeah.
Does that mean like he's been second
I think that's what it is.
And then he's going to be number one?
Well, at London, he's announced he's going for the world record in the mile, which is 222 seconds, if that's how you want to calculate it.
It's actually quite cool it is that number.
Great marketing.
I don't know who thought of that, but it's kind of cool that it worked out to be that.
It is cool, but also like Project 342 also sounds cool and is a bit more, when you read it, it makes more sense.
More relatable as well as runners, but yeah.
But I think it's a net really good positive thing that he's doing this. And I mean, from like a behind the scenes business standpoint, I think it's very smart for London to do it. And I think that's mostly what this is. It's just a good marketing. I was going to say ploy, but it's not even I don't know. It's not a ploy because I don't mean to make it
campaign.
Yeah, I don't mean to make it sound negative.
Marketing campaign. It's a campaign. Campaign. And we wish Josh great happiness and health towards that campaign of 222 seconds. It'd be great to see a few other people in the race.
Well, Ollie and I were talking before, and we both predict that if Cam Myers is in the race, he's going to be the one getting the 222 seconds before Josh. The thing is, I think that people, especially like your Josh Kerrs, don't give Jakob enough credit. You know what I mean? And because Jakob is going to run fast, essentially solo so many times. And I think Josh is in like this crazy shape. He's literally one of the best mid-distance runners ever, you know, like 1500 to 3K. But I think still like running fast times is just one very specific thing that obviously Jakob is like the best at that. Like I think that's pretty undeniable. And then you have these like younger guys like Cam Myers is like getting there. Josh, in the past, he's run very fast solo, but he hasn't quite run like 222 seconds fast.
Cam should start a project or start a thing called Project 221.
Exactly. Because I think that's often how these things go, where you have someone like Josh, like who benefits the most from this is whoever's able to stick on him and then outkick him at the end.
Which means that maybe Josh will be in charge of the list of people, which means that he might not let Cam in. He might not let Cam in because he knows that Cam could potentially be a threat.
Unless he can get a really good pacemaker that can go 1200. You know?
I got the call up.
We'll send Ollie there.
Yeah.
That's a quite...
We are his teammates,
up, but I'm going to keep going.
We're probably top of the list. All three of us.
Teammates.
Yeah, I'll do it for him. I'll pace the first 200. But yeah, it's going to be... when is London? That's probably still a while
away. It's right before.
So we'll talk about that probably every week now until then. Oh, shit. It's like
July.
Yeah.
Mid-July.
Yeah, it's a while.
Very impressive that they already have us talking about it.
Did you see the other thing? This is so unrelated. Did you see the London Marathon is talking about doing a 2-day race? Is that this year? Did you see it? Because of how popular fucking marathon running is. And so
they're going to do 2 days.
Basically 50,000 people on both days.
Wow. That's crazy.
Just double your revenue.
I can't imagine how much money they're going to make from that. Oh my God.
They would make double profits, right?
Double bubble?
If it's 50,000. Double bubble, baby.
Double bubble.
You're thinking about my booner, aren't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of running, man. A lot of running. Damn, that's actually crazy. I mean, I wonder if more marathons will follow, because New York surely could do that too.
Yeah, I bet you if it's successful there, then I guess it's just a logistics question. Locking down the city for an extra day is probably very, very hard in these big cities. That means if we pay enough money, anything's possible.
We could do two podcast days, 2 coffee club podcast days when we do the marathon weekend.
If they do a marathon 2 back-to-back days, we'll do 2 podcasts back-to-back days.
We can handle it.
Celebrate.
Someone's chatting us in the chat box down there. It's manager. What's he telling us?
I didn't even know
he's telling me that I was fucking wrong, and it's actually a men's day and a women's what?
Men's day.
No, really?
Day.
Segregation based on
gender. Is that?
I feel like regular people all run the same pace though.
That's really interesting.
Why would they split it up?
I mean, it's kind of cool if they do that. I guess it allows you to highlight each gender.
Yeah,
more.
You showcase it more. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, on the Women's Day, for example, like, I guess you have Helen Obiri running 2:10 at the front or whatever, but then you have all these other women running amazing times. Let's say, like, for example, just off the top of my head, like 2:25 to 2:35, and generally there'd just be a sea of men. But now on this day, there'd be like
it is actually a bummer when you watch like highlights of the finish of women's marathons, and they're like splitting the finish line because there's a bunch of just like random dudes like kicking in with them. It's like, get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah. Away. Yeah, get out of the way, bros.
So that's interesting.
No.
That'd be very cool to see how that happens.
That's actually, I like
just
that
other
idea.
highlights from Turin. How do you think
Cool.
Cooper Lipkenhouse's first day back at school was after that?
Brother.
Do you reckon anybody knew? Like, other than track, obviously track fans and track people, like, they definitely knew, but like, he probably went back to school.
No,
like,
he's probably like famous by now.
yeah, but people probably look at him as school. And
Isn't he like a junior in high school? Or is he a
you know what I
senior
mean?
now?
Like,
Isn't he like a junior in high school? Fucking
I think
world
he's a
champ.
junior. I think he's a
It's
junior.
actually insane.
He's the youngest to ever be world champion.
Isn't it crazy how you work your whole life for something and then like someone just does it like
when they're 16?
like yeah, you're like okay, well that's cool.
Also, the thing is, he's a massive fan of Kai Robinson.
Is he?
Yeah. So Kai said that because he asked for a photo with him in Milrose.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this, George. He asked for a photo with Kai. So Kai said that's so funny because now he has like in turn he's got a photo of Cooper. Like he's like, I got a photo of a world champion.
Yeah, he actually won in
the
that
other way
transaction.
Around. Yeah, exactly. So.
It is funny how his ascent was so rapid because I think that okay, this actually gets me to a greater topic that I was thinking about with Maurie Plant, which is so I feel like in our sport we love to talk about how great young people is, and a lot of it is due to like speculating on potential and how amazing potential is, right? I feel like because Cooper got so good so quickly, he like missed that. So he's not as famous as he should be. And people take that essentially for granted because the reason I was thinking about that, so taking it to Maurie Plant, is I was thinking about how great it is, how much they highlight people like Cam and Gout and Lachlan Kennedy. I think it's amazing. But then in the back of my head, I was like, on the flip side, it's kind of weird that they barely talk about Kai Robinson, who's literally 4th in the world right now in his event and has a bronze medal at World Indoors. Yeah. Like, he's doing it right now, and he gets less talk than people who are younger and really good because they have potential.
Because they might.
Does that make sense? Exactly. And I'm like, he's actually doing it. But he gets less attention because he's actually doing it.
Which is crazy. It's crazy that the way the logic works out for that.
I mean, that's maybe an oversimplification, but I was just having that thought because I was like, Kai should be like, he should be like, oh, these guys are on the front of paper, deserve it, amazing. But like, Kai should also
should be in the conversation. He should be in the conversation 100%. Like, Kai should be existing in that kind of.
Whereas then, now that he's gone and done it, it's like, people just kind of take it for granted. Almost.
He's also so casual about it too.
You just move on.
Like the most casual.
Then they're like, all right, he's good. He just goes, he's sorted. He's got there.
On to the next one.
Yeah. So that was just a thought that I had. That was just
It's a good thought.
I found it interesting. But talking about Maurie Plant, so I was fortunate enough to finally take the trip down to Melbourne to compete in this great Australian meet, and it was a really cool meet. Like, big shout out to all the fans that are out there, the crowd, atmosphere, all really, really cool. Personally, I was in the 3K, did not have a great race as well. I'm not going to dwell on it too much because I've kind of moved on. I was really disappointed. You couldn't even really watch my race. Actually, you can kind of see it like on FlowTrack now, I think, but we were like before the TV window opened up. But yeah, I don't really have much to say about it except that I definitely underestimated. Like, I felt very prepared going into it until like I got out there in the race and I was like, fuck, I haven't raced a track race in like 18 months or something. Very long time. And then it was kind of like a shock to the system that first half. And then by the second half, I was like, okay, feeling good, feeling comfortable, feeling like we can do this. But it was too little too late. And so I was really disappointed with it, but just made me excited to just race more and just to work through it and just to be like, all right, it's a process and this is just the beginning of the racing. So I think I'll gain a lot from the experience of having that race. And yeah, maybe in an alternate reality, I would have maybe done some different stuff in training so that I got that feeling out of the way in training, you know what I mean? And then by the time I turned up to the race, I was really ready to go. which is what I obviously thought I did. But it is what it is. It was a weird race to be a part of because there were so many good Australians in it with a big varying degree of success. And the way it played out was just so funny because there was a pacemaker going through a K in 2:35, and straight away Seth just went right in front of him. And
wait, he went in front of the pacer? I didn't see that.
He went in front of the pacemaker.
He went in front of the pacemaker?
But this is the weird thing is that, like, I thought we were running so quick on the first lap because my legs felt like absolutely terrible. Like, they felt like bricks. And then I only went through in 62, and it's a 3K. So it's like, oh, well, that's like actually kind of slow for a 3K pace for your first lap. So it was just a weird race. And yeah, it is what it is. Whatever. We got nationals next week, so hopefully the body's ready to go for that. But fitness wise, I felt very good. So like, I think it was more just kind of like a mental thing. You just forget how hard racing on the track is. I think when you do it so often, like, because I was like, yeah, the last time I didn't race on a track for this long, I was probably like, I don't know, 10 years old or something. Very long time ago. So I don't think I really gave that enough respect of like just how you can train all you want, but then racing's just like its own thing, and you have to work to get good at it, and you can't really just take it for granted. But yeah, speaking of Maurie Plant, there was a lot of other really good races there, and we already mentioned Cam Myers and some of the other stuff that went down. Just absolutely bananas. I think if you're anywhere else in the world and you wake up and you see Cam Myers running 3:30 there, you're like, wow, that's amazing. That's great. But like being there in person on the ground, like it was more than great. Like it was so crazy because that's not a fast track.
No.
It was not good conditions. It was like, seriously, I think that was like worth like at least like a 3:27, like in like a different.
If he was in the pace, like a pace K race in Monaco or any of the Diamond Leagues, like hands down.
I think it was so crazy. And like he's in that place right now where I think when you're performing at such a high level like he is, it's like those types of conversions do kind of stop making so much sense because, you know, when people are hot, like they're hot, and it seems like those factors don't affect them as much, but I don't see how it couldn't. Like, it's just like not a fast track and the conditions were not good, and he was doing so much of the work solid. So yeah, I think he's going to be running so quick this year.
He looked like he was running the same cadence the whole race, even in the last lap. His last lap was 53. So extremely impressive, Cam. Definitely excited to see what he can run throughout the rest of the year. Shout out to Claudia as well.
Claudia was amazing.
She
wasn't afraid. She just like took it on like from the front.
She's crushing it right now. She ran 3:58 solo in like, was it
2 weeks ago at Box Hill?
At Box Hill. So she's also like in great shape looking into nationals. So that'll be exciting to see her race. What other races did we have down there? Pretty big. The 3K. Yeah, so I mean, Maurie Plant looked like it had a good crowd there.
Dude, it was a great crowd. Yeah, it was a good vibe. It's really weird when I come back racing in Australia now because I haven't done that much of it. It's like, I don't know. It feels, I get all this PTSD from when I was young. You know how when you're young, it's like you get really nervous for like races.
Yeah.
Like, so our nationals, Ollie and my nationals are at Homebush next week, and like I have such bad memories of going out there when I was younger, just because it's like
you just get really nervous when you're young. You don't know how to
handle it. It's like a long drive out there, and it's like, oh, it's so nervous. So it's gonna be funny. Hopefully, we're not having those same feelings.
How was it having Robert down there? Also, what happened?
Oh, Robert's
in that?
fall.
I couldn't tell in the video.
Yeah, did Morgan get?
What's your summary of that?
Dude, I mean, I did. Well. So it's funny because I was standing at the 200 start. So I was standing next to where the fall happened, but I didn't actually see it happen. I just saw the aftermath, and I saw him on the ground for a long time, and I saw the medical people come out and help him up. So I was like, oh boy, this does not look good. And it's just the fact, you know, all the context surrounding it. Like he traveled all the way down there from Poland just to fall 100 into a race. And then with Robert has a bit of a reputation for being involved in falls. So I was like, oh, not again. Like this has happened so many times with him. And then I watched the video and I was like, well, it just like wasn't his fault at all. So I'm like, it's just bad luck. It's just really bad luck, this one, I think. And it seemed like he's actually was hurt from it, so not good. And it wasn't just him as well, because it was Jack Ansey and also Jude. So it was a bunch of guys who were going to be very competitive in the race, and especially felt for all of them equally, I guess. But Jack Ansey, he didn't get picked for World Indoors, so he would have been really wanting to go and
show where he was,
show off his form, because he ran, I think, 3 qualifiers World Indoors, and they didn't pick him, so he's in very good shape. And so I felt really bad for him just making the trip all the way down here as well to them fall 100 in. But I guess that's racing. I mean, I don't know, the 1500, man, it just happens a lot in that event, and it's just bad luck. But yeah, I was kind of shocked by it, because I obviously just didn't expect it to happen. And then these guys were all down, and Robert seemed like he was in a lot of pain. So
he couldn't text me after the race. He was just giving me voice notes. He said it was too difficult to text because he was too sore from both these wrists. So, but God love him. Speedy recovery for Robert. Hoping his wrist is broken, but no surgery needed. So that's a good sign if he doesn't need surgery on it. So.
Yeah, I think he's already back in the US as well.
I think he's back in the US, yeah. He's probably got a little sling calf cast, and he's probably out running. But it's keeping his distance from anyone. Probably doesn't want to,
I don't think wrist injuries are contagious.
I didn't actually get to really see him at all.
More of just falling over again.
Maybe they are contagious.
But, maybe they're contagious in a different way.
But yeah, I the only time I saw him, because my trip to Melbourne was very quick. I actually got down late the evening. I almost didn't make it because all the flights the day before were getting cancelled. I was meant to fly down the day before at midday, and then my flight got cancelled and delayed until 8 p.m. at night. And then a lot of the flights were getting just fully cancelled because the weather was really bad. So I only got in the evening before. So it was a business trip, baby.
In and out business trip.
But then I get to the meet, and you just see so many people that it's a bit overstimulating, but it is a lot of fun. That's my only regret, is I feel like I didn't get to just embrace and appreciate the experience enough, because I was so focused on my race. I was very nervous before, and then I was just disappointed after it. So if I could go back, I would just enjoy the process of being back and being able to just race again a little bit more. But I think that'll come. But yeah, enough about Maurie Plant. Moving on, we also had the 10 on the same day over in California. And I guess big shout out to Kai breaking the Australian record. I think the three of us know that was a long time coming, but still going out and actually doing it is a very, very, very hard.
It looks so hard
thing to go into.
It looks so hard. But the energy, they raced around 9:30 p.m. in California time, which is late in Denver. It's 10:30 in Denver. And Kai, you got to run 64, 65s. And shout out to Dylan Jacobs, man. He ran the 15, then 3-hour break, which is bad. You don't want a 3-hour break before having to do an effort like that. You already warmed up.
How far did he go?
And you got to go run 64.5.
Did he?
He went 5K at 64.5. He was on. He said he thought the first 2 laps he's going to drop out. He said it was so hard, but he looked great. And he ran through for 5K for Kai. Did an amazing job. So shout out to Dylan for that. But Kai and Muhammad were the only 2 on the green. And it looked really tough, but shout out to those 2 working together and everything. And the energy is so low. People were cheering them, but it's just there's not the energy you would get at other races.
It's just a more chill meet. Yeah,
it's a chill meet. So really locking in. And Kai, he ran
takes a lot.
And he closed in a 59, which is what he needed to do. He needed to break 60 to get well under, and it comes away with an Australian record. So shout out to Kai. And
breaking 27, man. Breaking 27 is
first
obviously
Aussie.
One of the hardest barriers in the sport as a distance runner.
Yeah, first Aussie to do it too. So he's in unfamiliar waters.
Yeah,
with Aussies. So sick.
It was great that he had Muhammad as well to someone to actually race against.
Yeah, in
the end. So
yeah,
it was. I mean, yeah, so much respect, because that's so hard to go out and do, to just run 64s for 25 laps. Really, really difficult, and it took on a lot of the leading after Dylan dropped out. But Yeah, I think it was a bit hot and humid out there as well. You know, some years with I think it was 2 years ago, 2024, like there was a big pack of guys going for the 10K, and it's so different. I think when it's like one or two people, it really changes the dynamic of it. So yeah, it still makes me like, I was thinking about, I've been thinking about recently.
Good for you.
How the fuck did Grant run 26:33 like 5 years ago?
Dude, Grant and
At that
Mohamed both ran that.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
Crazy stuff.
What were they doing back then?
Crazy stuff.
To be fair, I think they did have pacemaking through 8K that day, 8 or 9K. I think it was
Woody,
probably,
I
like, the
think.
best pacemaking.
I think it was Woody.
Woody and Sean. It was like the best pacemaking you're ever going to get for that. But still, I was like, just the balls to be like, I want to race paced it like in the 26:30s is like
crazy.
So, but who knows? Maybe we'll see that again. I don't know. But before that race, we had our very own Oliver Hoare competing in the 1,500 meters out there. How'd that feel?
Yeah, it was interesting for me. I definitely made a mistake eating and then taking the bicarb. I felt a bit, you guys know when you like eat and take a bicarb and you're starting to feel a bit heavy and sloshy and things that don't seem like they're going to sit down very well. I felt like that a little bit before the race, but my weeks leading into the 15, I've felt pretty good. I mean, I've had some great training and I've started to feel a bit fresh, and going to pre-meet, I was pretty happy with where I was. So I was excited to race, and my plan was, I think we're going to have a pacer go through 800 and 153, 154, and then kind of just race it from there, see what we can do, try and win the race. And unfortunately, the pacer made it 500 meters before he really died. So I kind of had to take over. He went through in like 56 for the first lap, and then I went through the next lap in like 59. So we really dropped the pace a little bit, but it was good because then it kind of became a bit of more of a race, and Waleed came up and took the lead, and that kind of was nice for me. I could kind of gauge off him and try and close off, and was able
Coffee Club, Track Club member.
Yeah, Coffee Club TC.
Wasn't he on? He was on like
early days.
Yeah, he was on an early episode. Early days, but
okay.
It was good to get a win. So I got the win. I almost choked on the finishing tape. It literally just went around my neck and it wouldn't come off when I crossed the line. But 3:35 like was still pretty solid race. My legs felt great. I wore the light spray and like it felt great. It's just my heel. Like I know my heel wasn't going to come out, but it kept coming off the bottom. It just felt like it was going to slip off. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a little bit where like it's a bit used up.
Shoe on socks.
Yeah, felt
maybe
shoe and yeah. I might have to wear a sock next time. But
that's a really good race.
I think so.
Internationals though. I feel like you won something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was like a good confidence booster for me. I felt amazing in the race. I did a 5-mile progression run after the race because Dathan was like, yeah, you can't pace. It's 3 hours too much. You can't pace. So I did a 5-mile progression run, and I felt great. I mean, I felt great with my legs. Everything felt really good. I just felt a little bit off with the food and the and the bicarb, but there's a good mistakes to have, and it was a good race. So I was very, very happy with where I was at. And 3:35 is still like a solid time to run in March. It's no 3:30. In headwind and rain and shit weather, but it's 3:35 in a race in March and running to win it. Very happy with that. So
that's the biggest thing.
It was a good
competing for the dub.
Competing for the dub. Got the dub. Very happy with it. We watched Anchorman, and I'll tell you this, George. It was actually quite funny. We got to the Airbnb, and to decide who got what room, we betted on marble racing. So Kai's like, let's all bet on the marble races, and then if you win that race, you get to pick
marble races?
on his phone.
Oh, okay.
So we'd watch like a marble race on his phone. So I actually picked a marble that was winning for the whole way, and then it got stuck on the corner of the course, and then everyone passed it. But then the video ended, so we didn't see what happened. So Kai's like, okay, we're gonna have to restart. And then I picked the next marble. Or actually, no, I had to pick last. Kai's like, oh, you got this marble. And I was like, okay. And that marble won. So I got the best room. And then I think Dylan or Mario picked next. I think Mario got the worst room. Well, all the rooms are lovely, but that's how we picked the rooms. We picked it off marble racing. So I thought it was a good concept.
That's quite a good idea.
Next time we go to training camp or anything like that, George, we'll do marble racing and
Not
we'll
bad.
bet on it. But highlight for the boys. And Dylan ran great. I think he was third.
He won. Bit of a blanket finish. It was like 4 wide. 3. He was out in lane.
Yeah, Dylan
was out in lane 3 or 4 or something.
Yeah, he said he hasn't run a 15 in a while, and he said it was a weird feeling, like having to kick down like that so quickly. Usually in a 5K, it's a bit more of a wind up, I guess you mentioned, but he ran great and paced amazing. Dylan's in a great place, so excited to see what he does next. And I
think it seems like the 10-1500 is just always going to be like a 3:35, 3:36 race. I just don't know if it's meant like that's what we ran about that a few years ago. The meet record is also 3:35 point something, like slightly faster than what you guys ran. It's just like, I think it's just not a 3:30 race ever. It seems like.
I don't think it's like the time of year, the type of race, and where it's at, and like the timing. I just don't think it's like a race where you can run super fast, unless you get a really good field and everything lines up. I mean, the pacing job wasn't ideal, but even with that, like maybe we could have run 3:34, 3:33, but it wouldn't have changed much during the race really at all. So, but I think it's just, like you said, like a good indication for that time of year.
It's kind of nice to have like a 3:35 race though, because I feel like they're a bit of a dying breed. Because everyone wants to obviously run a 3:30 now, and there's so many talented guys that can go out and do it in the big ones. But 3:35, I mean, arguably that'll prepare you better for some of the championship style racing than a paced 3:30 race,
100%, yeah.
Because I was about to say it again. I was about to say, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about Cam Myers again, and I'm like, dude, he's so good at doing those faster races now, and he just has to be in more probably 3:35 races, like 3:35 races against really good competition. You know what I mean?
And be able to like outbeat people,
or just experience that feeling, of actually having people around you.
When Kelsey told me, because Brandon Miller's in the race, right, and that dude is freaking good, and he's run 3:35 before, and he's an 800 runner that's super super fast and quick. When I was at the front when Kelsey said 1:56, I was like, crap, he's going to be right there, he's going to kick it down. So being able to close and finish well, it was a good indication. So happy with that. Came into Australia, currently in Morgan's house. My dad's taking a nap on a really uncomfortable bench. Things are good.
Yeah, we ran in Centennial Park this morning. I'm happy to report that I've been doing lots of laps of the white fence at Centennial Park. I've been absolutely loving it out here. It is getting a little old though. Getting on the track is very hard here, which is not fun. But we just got to survive until the end of next week, I guess. And then we'll be back to
Boulder.
America.
Back to Boulder.
But yeah, dude, it's Australia's a lovely place. Very nice. Sydney, hard to train, I would say.
But a beautiful place to live.
Great place to live. Yeah. Very different from America. The thing is, for everyone that's listening that's not from Australia, you got to get down to Australia. You got to come here and experience it, because it's very cool. And I don't know how to put into words the differences between America and the US, but it just feels different.
Vibes, yeah.
It's just a different vibe.
Just the vibes.
And I imagine New Zealand has pretty similar vibes.
America, yeah. I mean, Australia, yeah.
But I still don't know how to put them into words. So you got to come down here and experience it.
I always tell people you got to come visit Australia and New Zealand. Australia, because you have the culture and how beautiful it is. And New Zealand, because they desperately need your money.
You haven't even been here. What would you know?
Money, the economy. No, I listened to the Morning Daily Brew. They said that you guys need some dosh getting thrown in there.
He's been looking at the foreign exchange market.
Please come to New Zealand and spend your money.
Bring some fuel.
Buy some lamb. Watch your
if you could.
And bring some fuel.
Bring your own petrol, please.
BYO petrol.
Definitely. So, yeah, that's it from us, I think. Is there anything else?
I think that's it, bro.
George?
I think that's a good recap. We'll have a little preview next week.
Yeah.
Aussie Champs. Along with...
Yeah, we're going to preview this very exciting Aussie Champs.
Aussie Champs. The Australian National Championships.
It's going to be awesome this year.
Yeah.
It's the Com Games selection.
Well, kind of, not really. It's important to race it, but it also doesn't really matter.
Also, they can pick whoever they want. So,
I mean, if you win, it helps.
It does help.
Yeah, let's just say that's how it goes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. Episode 200. What episode is it, Greg? 223. Thank you guys so much for joining us again for another week. It's been a lot of fun, and we look forward to seeing you guys all again next week. See ya.
Boys from Coffee Club.
Nice.